Hello, everyone, and welcome back into the fantasy football universe. We are here for another Scott Fishbowl 14 mock draft. I think this is our second one since the settings were announced. Follow me everywhere at FF Mad Scientist. Joined today by Jeremy Shulman at FF_Rebel. How's it going, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm sweating my balls off here. It is 29 degrees for the Americans. That means it's 83 degrees, but it's humid. We're not used to this weather in Amsterdam, so suffering. Although it's not my usual New York 100 with 100% humidity, so I guess I'll take it.
And I guess that's how we're going to start the show. Ooh, that's interesting. I see Scott just tweeted out recently that they are 100% full in the Scott Fishbowl, and he said, "To heck we are. I'm adding more divisions now." So it looks like the field that is huge just got even bigger. So let's kick this off. Typical Scott Fishbowl format. We have it set up for because it's pretty much flexible here. 1 QB with a super flex, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, and 5 flex. Obviously, this is a little different if you draft on MFL because you can flex a kicker. So it would have an extra super flex and no kicker. We've got a couple of dead spots here in the draft. That's all right. We don't mind. It's me, Jeremy, and SC. We each have 2 draft strategies that we will be employing. We don't know what the other person is using, so we're going to have to stick to those, and we're going to see how it pans out. And then tomorrow, we're going to analyze them to see which strategies we think are most viable for this draft. So I guess let's kick it off here with me on the clock at the 101. I will go Josh Allen, and then we have 2 auto picks of McCaffrey and Hurts, bringing us to Brad, who has he doesn't have a strategy. He's just mocking with us. Let's see who he goes with. I got to turn my sound off here so you don't have to listen to it ping each time I do that. He went with Patrick Mahomes. We'll see what SC has. It's always interesting because I know who I think he would pick, but I don't know if he has a strategy, say like punt QB or whatever. So we'll see quickly. Oh, yep. So he went receiver. So I got to think SC may have drawn the late QB strategy. Then it goes CD Lamb. Jeremy's up on the clock here. So I would imagine he doesn't also have late QB.
No, I certainly don't. I have an interesting idea here, but I'm at least for the first round going to stick, and this is my ideal scenario in Scott Fish. I doubt it happens, but I will take Lamar Jackson here with the crazy rushing upside and rushing points.
Yeah, Lamar shouldn't have fallen that low. Lamar, and I also have Anthony Richardson, who I'm much higher on in this format because of the scoring. I actually 100%. Have Lamar and Richardson over Mahomes, but I think both of them should have gone in front of Bijan and CD. We'll give it SC a pass here because I'm pretty sure I would imagine he's drafting late round QB as his strategy, and that's probably why he punted. 5 seconds left on this one, so we've got a couple more who are going to auto pick. They go Tyreek Hill, and then who's that? Diamond Mike? Is that what it says? He will be on the clock. We'll see if he gets autoed here for CJ Stroud. But even if we get some autos, that's fine. One's more about seeing which strategies we think work and what don't.
Yeah, and I think even when you have guys who are in the mocks and they're fully populated with real people, you're still going to have a lot of people trying different strategies like this. In the real Scott Fishbowl, in our experience, I think over the last couple of years, all the mocks kind of go like this with only 5 or 6 QBs in the first round, and then you get into the actual show and it's like 10 QBs in the first 15 picks. So.
Yeah, it never holds. I was saying that the other day, how I take these kind of with a grain of salt because exactly what you said. We did one where I think through 4 rounds, there were only 10 QBs taken. Then you'll get on the clock in the real draft and there'll be 10 QBs in the first 11 picks. So don't necessarily trust in these. Sounds fun. Let's go. Do you want me to say my draft strategy? No, you can keep it hidden. We're kind of guessing here. I
have to go by my strategy here, so I'm kind of giving it away, but at the same time, I would pick Kyler Murray, so let that be noted for the record. But we'll go Sam Laporta here.
Do we have someone with a bully tight end build? Is that what's going on? You can say it if you want to, see, but you don't have to tip your hand if you don't. We're guessing you're the late QB build, and when you get back to my pick, you're going to see very quickly which build I took. So SC is on the clock. SC looks like he's going late QB and robust running back from the looks of it, because there's 2 of them. So we're
But
guessing game.
to be fair, in Scott Fish, I mean, I know it's pretty balanced, but the RB, it's really hard not to go heavy into the RB strategy. Like 0 RB here for me just doesn't work in Scott Fish. I did try it my first year. It was okay, made it to the first round of the playoffs, and then was quickly booted. But, I want the big time running backs who are going to get the heavy volume in Scott Fish way more than I want wide receivers.
Well, for me, that's exactly it. The strategy I didn't want to employ here, I didn't want to be the one who had to go early wide receiver. I just think in this scenario, that's this format, that's the scariest build for me, would be early wide receiver. So as you can kind of see, I'll tip my hand here. One of the 2 I picked is indeed early QB. So I started off with Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. I was originally going to go early QB with 1st and 3rd round, but when Kyler fell here, with Dak and Jordan Love going in front of him and Kyler being the last here, I decided to stack back-to-back quarterback picks to start.
Yep.
Yes, it is. So that's why Travis Etienne was so high. It really, the bell cow running back really has a bonus here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, again, my pick there, Purdy. I like him in 3rd where he falls. There's way more QBs I expect to be off the board. You never know how your individual draft is going to go. But, I like Purdy there over Andrews, but the stack and the bully tight end, I had to go Andrews.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure that all but confirms that Jeremy is the bully tight end on the board here.
I'm the bully.
That's
right.
So that is mine. So knowing what I'm going to do next, I'm going to try and take a running back here. Because if I don't get one, I'm not going to get one for a while, because my other one is mid-round wide receiver, and I'm going to interpret that as rounds 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to see me in the next few rounds stack a whole bunch of wide receivers here. So I took my running back to get it out of the way, because I know I'm likely punting running back. I also considered tight end, but I did it too late. If I could have this pick back, I probably would have gone back and taken Trey McBride or Kyle Pitts instead, and then just totally punted running back. But I guess I'm going to be going with the 3rd strategy in the late round tight end here as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And we appreciate you, Jeff, doing our best to just, try out a bunch of different strategies, see what works here. As always, when you're out here, in any sort of tournament or preparing for your leagues, the more practice you can get, the better. And it's going to be nice to see what our teams look like at the end of this when, we're able to kind of look back and see if we like it or not.
We'll do a brief recap. Go ahead.
This has fallen into my hands, man. Like, I really need to
start
taking
McBride?
some other positions. I might take the other guy. I might take Kyle Pitts. I'll go McBride. I love Pitts, but let's bully up with 3 tight ends. Tight ends really needs to be going off the board sooner than this.
At the end of this, we'll do a quick recap here, but tomorrow we're going to really get into it more so than we are right now. We'll kind of recap what we thought worked and what didn't. But like I said, for now, we're just going to do a brief recap. We've got the turn on the clock here. And then we're going back to some auto picks. It's nice. It's going nice and quick, because essentially it's basically me, you, and SC drafting.
Yeah.
So it's buzzing by quick. So like I said, we'll have a nice quick show today.
I'm gonna
be sure to.
Let's see. I'm just gonna bully the hell out of it. Let's keep going. Like, this is
ridiculous. You realize bully tight end doesn't mean you have to draft only. You're gonna be the first team to flex 6 tight ends, you psycho.
Why not? Why not? What is the exact specifications? It's like an extra point.
1.5 PPR, 1.5 first down. So essentially, it's triple tight end premium.
Yeah, and if you look at those 4 guys, those guys are getting first downs galore this season, hyper targeted. These are the guys I want. I don't need anybody else at tight end or in the flex for that matter.
You're a sick son of a bitch. So I'm going to continue.
That's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I'm going to continue the second part of my strategy here in the mid-round wide receiver. So I've got, after starting with getting the early QB with Allen and Murray, I then went running back, and now I've got 3 straight wide receivers in Ayuk, Neighbors, and Metcalf. And to be honest, looking at this board, I don't hate the way this combo of strategies is playing out here. I'm loaded at QB. I've got a tolerable running back one, and I like my wide receiver room to an extent. Like, I don't love the wide receiver room, but it ain't terrible.
No, I agree. Ayuk, we'll see where he ends up. It doesn't matter. He's going to be hyper efficient. You got Malik Neighbors, of course, hyper targeted, and DK is such a value this season. Walker just went. That's who I was going to go for.
Well, he doesn't play tight end.
He doesn't, but it's time to pivot. Yeesh. I don't love it. How much time do I have? 12 seconds. 1, 2. We'll go Najee here. I think Najee is just going to get all he can handle this season in a one-off tournament. That's not Dynasty. Najee Harris there is good value for me.
Looking here. There's some interesting picks going on. A lot of pretty rainbow-looking builds here. Okay, who is back up? Sorry, go ahead.
No, what's interesting is like every team's going to have a deficiency, right? So in dynasty startups, kind of, I don't really care if I have a deficiency. Everyone kind of has one, and you have to kind of build that up over time. Here, you do have to balance out your team eventually, but I'm okay in a tournament of this size, just going after guys who I think are going to be serviceable. I'm going to go ahead and take another running back here and take James Conner. I think he's going to get all he is. Again, another guy who's going to be run into the ground. I like Trey Benson, but this season, those two backs I think are going to be approaching 200 carries pretty easily.
Are you aware you've drafted 4 of the 9 tight ends so far? Just like to throw that out there.
Yeah. I should have had more, but I can't justify it.
You can always justify it.
Well, what's interesting here is like quarterback is kind of dried up. You see in the last, 3 rounds here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 QBs off the board.
I thought you were going to go QB because there was a couple here in Cousins and Stafford, but Baker's still on the board, isn't he?
There's a few. We got a couple rookies for sure. We got a guy that I love who I might not mention it, but yeah, Baker's still on the board. And there's another guy a little further down who I might take with this next pick.
All right, and I put an end to my run there of receiver. I'm probably going to add 1 or 2 more in the next 2 rounds, but I thought the value of Ramondre was too much, and I needed me a tight end. And I think the last in my tier for tight ends was Njoku and Hawkinson. So I took Njoku because Hawkinson I'm going to miss half the season with. So that's why I pivoted quickly away from the wide receiver strategy. But I'm going to go back and hit that again in a second here. Let's see. Okay. Go ahead.
There goes Watson. I have a few QBs I like, but there's one running back still on the board who we're all still making this mistake. Maybe for this season, it doesn't hit right away, but it could hit towards the end of the season if he's fully healthy. Jonathan Brooks is just ranked far too low on Sleeper. You need to go get him earlier.
Okay. So who's on the clock? We've got... Wow, yours is a unique build. You're 9 rounds in without a wide receiver, hey? That's
yeah. I mean, I kind of did this a little bit last year, and it worked out pretty well. I made it a few rounds through the playoffs, and I think I can't even remember who my top receiver was. It wasn't good. I was constantly struggling and shuffling wide receiver all season, but the rest of my team was solid.
It's terrifying.
I can't even remember. I have to go back and see what I had, but it's always terrifying, right? All right, let's see. Yep, he made it back. All right, I'm going to do it. Geno Smith, incredibly undervalued this season. He turns it around with Ryan Grubb now the OC there. JSN taking a step, everybody.
Oh. So we can confirm, I guess, that SC got bully or a robust running back and late round QB here. He's going to be drafting QBs to end this thing, I believe so. Definitely punted. Bryce Young's his QB1, and he's probably going to get a rookie here behind him, so he could be stacking 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Bryce Young is a great pick, especially this late with just his rushing upside, right? Geno's not going anywhere. in terms of the rushing. I just feel like he could throw for 40 TDs. So obviously, if he does that, he's worth it in this format.
I was almost upset there. I passed last round on the wide receivers, and I thinking it would get back to me. And a couple of the ones I wanted went, and I said, "Oh, damn it, there's nothing left." And then I realized the gift that keeps on giving was still there,
It
and
does.
Deontay Johnson was
Really
still
does.
on the board, and somehow he's
Insane.
always there. And I don't know
Insane.
how he's always there, but thank you. Let's see, where are we going here? SC. So let's see if he pulls the trigger on what I would assume was JJ McCarthy, maybe, unless he wants to stack him with a veteran here and go Derek Carr. Oh, he went running back.
Singletary.
He sniped you?
Yeah. No, Team 6 sniped me. I was looking for that stack of JSN.
Will you be drafting a wide receiver at any point this year?
Yeah. That's who I would have taken. Now I'm hesitant to do that. And with 10 seconds left, I'm just going to go ahead and smash Tajay Spears. Jesse's been hyping him up to me. I was a believer before Pollard. I don't think Pollard's a huge threat other than touches. Tajay will still be efficient if the offense is any good. But yeah, for me, there are a couple guys on the board, but I'll take Tajay after JSN leaves.
All right, we are getting into the last round. We already have one team who didn't draft a kicker. I completely forgot there's kickers in this, so I'm going to end it for a kicker. You took a wide receiver. Oh, and that's a value. Shaheed in these settings is a nice value. Not bad. I don't know if I want to miss my wide receiver one, but
yeah,
it's not terrible. SC is on the clock. I don't know. Is he going to draft a kicker? No, he's probably just going to go quarterback. Yeah, he's going to go quarterback and pair Carr. So he's going all NFC South. That's a bold strategy. See how it pays off for him. And then Brad. What does Brad look like here? Brad looks like he has a little bit of everything. I wonder if he'll take a kicker or not. He did. He went Tyler Bass. Then we auto-picked to me, and I'm going to look it's on the board. I'll probably go kicker just to fill out my roster unless there's someone I really wanted who got skipped here. Let's see what the flex options are. Now let's just go kicker. We'll play it right. I don't really like any of these kickers. But I'm going to go Cameron Dicker, the kicker. So looking back now, we won't get too deep into the analysis. We'll keep it short today, and we'll run through these tomorrow. What do you think of your strategy here? Starting with a quarterback and 4 tight ends. Love it?
I love it. Yeah, love it. My flex is filled out. I have no issue at tight end. These guys are better than wide receivers, especially, considering these 4 tight ends. If I had taken Dalton Kincaid, not necessarily as happy. If I could have gotten Kelsey instead of McBride, this is the ultimate bully tight end. But yeah, 4 is a little excessive. You probably only want to go 3 if you're bullying. But I still like the running backs I ended up with. The problem is wide receiver. Of course, JSN getting sniped from me really crushed me. So it is what it is. But not terrible here. I would probably go 3 tight ends. And then instead of Pitts, although I love him this year, might go DK there.
You know what the funny part is? Because of the roster flexibility, like if you had gotten rid of Tajay here and gone kicker, you would actually have a legal starting lineup because you only need 1 wide receiver. So then your flexes would be all running backs and tight ends. But this is actually a legal lineup with the exception of the kicker. Mine is also legal. SC would need a kicker, but he's got plenty of options here. So he obviously went robust running back, I would say, and late round quarterback. So his build scares me the most. He's got a heavy running back. He's got some okay wide receivers, and he's got the scariest quarterback room I've ever seen in my life with Derek Carr and Bryce Young. I don't hate my build here. I got 2 early stud quarterbacks. I'm pretty solid. I like the 4 receivers I have. The 3 running backs I have, I think, have some potential. They're kind of scary a bit. And I didn't really like my kicker, but it's a kicker, so it doesn't really matter. Anything else besides our 3 teams? Anything else jump out here on any of the auto-drafted teams?
I'm trying to look on my page because I can't, because we have our faces in the way of like teams 8 through 12 here. I do like team. So team 11 was auto drafted, but I love this team. Burrow and Stafford, fantastic. You're not getting the rushing upside from those guys, but they can each throw 40 plus touchdowns. You got Kelsey, you got the stud wide receivers. I don't love stud wide receiver builds here, like I was saying, but Achane is an efficiency monster. And if you can hit on some late round running backs there, you have at least 4, maybe 5 stud wide receivers there, guys you can plug in all the time. So I like them. But if you're talking about Scott Fishbowl, I got to go SC. I love the running backs he has. It's all about running backs. And if you can find that late round quarterback value, you have a chance to go all the way. So I want running backs who have volume, who are going to get those. I think it was Jeff who mentioned it, the 0.25, a quarter point per carry. So if you get in 20 carries as a running back, forget it.
All right, that's a wrap here on a pretty quick show. This was the mock. Check back tomorrow. We're going to do an in-depth kind of look and see what we think we would have changed, the pros and cons of each strategy, and kind of come up with a consensus on which approach we like to take here. Thank you to Jeff and Jay for joining us. Check back tomorrow or head over to fantasyfootballuniverse.com for all your fantasy football needs. Thanks for everyone who participated and watched. We'll see you tomorrow.